this one, I'll be using kind of a specialty drop D flat or C sharp tuning. And basically all I'm going to do is just take the low E string and drop that down to the D flat or C sharp. So it's almost like we're just doing a drop D, and then I just take it a half a step further, and we'll end up with D flat, C sharp, and then everything else stays the same. A, D, G, B, E. Alright, just to make it as simple and accessible as possible, just to get right into. You don't have to do every single string. And all the chord shapes work out just fine with that. So once again, D flat, A, D, G, B, E. And with this one, the very beginning, it's kind of like a like a EQ'd, kind of chilled out little intro here, and it uses a little bit of like a tremolo dip. It's not totally necessary, but it kind of has that warbly kind of vibe to it, kind of a scratchy kind of warbly vibe. And we start with this E major 7 look. We're just going to hit a couple second frets on the D string, and then we'll hit that again with a 4 on the G and B, just to get the major 7 there. So it'd be like, right. And we do it again, and kind of like after we hit the couple bass notes there, we give it a little dip with the bar, just a little warble, just kind of a little funky there. Just make it sound a little bit off, and we go through that, a couple times. Something like that, and then move over to basically, which is a D flat sus2, but initially we just kind of like throw it in without like the D flat bass note, and just kind of use just more from like the G sharp note down. And basically all we're going to do is just come over here, and then we do 6. So we just kind of take our ring and pinky we're using there, just bring them up a set. So we got the 6 on the D and 6 on a G, and then just have the 4s barred behind it on the B and E. And like I said, we're just going to kind of hit this 6 on the D, this G sharp or A flat note. For now, we're just going to hit that a couple times, then strum the chord, just kind of how we did the previous section. Don't really need to worry about so much with the tremolo on this one. I don't hear too much of that going on. Just real loose, kind of, bass notes, hit the chord, bass notes, hit the chord. Go through that a couple times as well. And then we'll move back to our E flat, the 2 with the 4s here. Do that again. Even less warble on the second time through, it doesn't sound so much, but go through that again. And then we move back to our D flat sus2, but now we're going to throw in the low D flat bass note. So basically just exactly what we had there, but just include now the 4 on the A, so you can just basically like bar all the chords, make this power chord shape. But it's like a sus2, so we want the 4 on the B and high E under it there. And the same kind of strum, but here we just kind of go through it once. Right. And then we just come off to this, voicing of an A, which is open low A, do the 7 on the D and the 9 on the G here. Hit that and just let it ring. And then we get into the, everything comes in, it's real big sounding. In this initial bit, it's kind of like the instrumental with a lead, but it's basically the same overall like verse thing that's happening. But for the chords here, we're just going to move to just power chord style. And with this D flat or C sharp drop shape here, it's going to look like this, kind of like we're doing a G chord or something. But we're going to bar the A and D string. So we start here with the 3 on the low D flat string, and then the 2 on the A and D string. Right. And if you're diehard into like just a drop D flat tuning or C sharp tuning, like you play a lot of Deftones stuff or whatever, you can just take the tabs I'm showing here and just the A down to the high E string. Just everything I'm showing you on the tabs, you can just bump that up 1 number, and that'll work just fine for your, just full-on D flat tuning. But if you don't want to do all that and you just want to drop from standard to like something easy, like I said, we're just doing this. So we got the 3 on the low D flat, 2 on the A and D, and we're just strumming it like quarter note style, and we go through that about 4/4, so 16 strums. Okay, just like that. And then we come off to our open low D flat. So do the open D flat there, and then we do 4 on the A, 6 on the D and G, strum it just the same. Alright, go through those two chords again, the E flat to D flat like that. The final run through, we just do the D flat chords. We do that, two sets of 4, so just 8 strums. And then we move to just a D power chord. So with this tuning, it'd just be first fret on the low D flat here, and then open A and D. Alright. And after that, for the lead parts over the top, we're picking through this E major 7 look. So we'd be 7A, 6D, 7A, 8G. Okay, do that again. And then we just kind of hold that 8, give it a real slow bend and release. Alright, and then we move over to the B string, we go 9, hold that a moment, 8G, 9G. And then just hit the 7B, slide to 5. Alright, and then just go through it all again. But with the second run through, you can take like that 7B and just give it a little bend instead of sliding it down. Up to you. And for the initial lead and the outro lead, there's a second part, which is this trem picked. So we're just doing fast alternate picking here. And it's all just B string. We go 9th fret, hold that out for about 3 3/4 of a measure. Little transitional 7s. 4. Alright, and we stay on the 4 for about 3.5 measures. Back up to little transitional 7s. Just quick there. Back to the 9s. Then we go. Stay there. 7s. 4s. But the final run through, we hit the 4s for about 2 measures, come up to 5 for about 1.5 measures, and then the transitional 7s again. Alright. And then we would just kind of get into the verse, which is just basically the chords. And other than that, we get a bridge section, which is just, or sorry, I guess we should do the chorus. It's kind of a real short turnaround, but it's basically just maybe 8 strums on an A chord. So you just do an open style here, like open A, 2 on the D and G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's the same thing again, but we kind of get like this minor vibe. And I just kind of like to throw in this 3 on the A to get that C note for the minor. And then just keep that same 2 on the D and G there, strum it out just the same. Then we would kind of get back into like the main riff with the lead and all that jazz. But the bridge section, this is also what happens at the very end, but it's only like the first few chords at the very end of the song. But for the full bridge here, we just do these dynamic power chord hits. We start with this A flat power chord, so I like to move up just to the low shape here. We go 7 on the D flat, 6 on the A and D, and it's just bang bang up a fret. And we kind of hit that first chord, a little hesitation, and then just start strumming it out like we usually would. And it's about 3 sets of those strums, or like you could just count 3 measures. Drop down to a low area here, so just that E, the 3 on the D flat, 2 on the A and D, 2 hits, hesitation, up to 5 and 4s for the G power chord. Sorry, that'd be a F sharp power chord. And we strum that out kind of the same. Hit the first one, a little hesitation, and then just strum it out for like 3 more measures. And we just go between those 2 positions like that a couple times, and then just get back into the chorus, and then all the other parts we've seen before, and it's just a repeat from there.